It's called Smut. Give me smut and nothing but a dirty novel I can't shut. If
We're
it's
here.
uncut
We're queer.
and
Well, one of us is.
One of us is.
The other two.
You gotta guess who.
The other two are not.
I have no idea.
Is it the one wearing overalls? I don't know.
Or the one with
Oh, did you see my
colors
shirt?
in their hair.
I did see your shirt, and I'm so listener for you. Those of you not watching on YouTube, Emily is wearing a Brendan Fraser shirt that really evokes a lot of emotions in her.
It was a Christmas present from my brother and future sister-in-law.
The thing that I love is that it's all from
all
the mummy.
It's
So it's
all
the
the Mummy.
same fucking costume.
It's the Rick O'Connell, yes.
It's the Rick and I'm
the Rick
surprised it didn't say
O'Connell.
Rick O'Connell.
No. Brendan Fraser, but only in this costume.
Oh, I opened this. I was like, we're wearing this to the bar tonight.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
this is what I'm wearing.
You have to.
This is a good Chicago outfit, I'd
Yes,
say.
it
Chicago, nice, kind of nice-ish cocktail
Oh,
bar.
it's so nice.
I'm gonna wear this.
but
yeah.
it screams you. Yeah.
It does scream.
It does
me.
scream. I'm not wearing this to the bar later.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I figure. Well, we're gonna go shopping after this, and then we're gonna get them pizza.
Where are you going shopping?
Just on Lincoln.
Cute.
Yeah, we're gonna do get some souvenirs. I need to get baby things for people. Everyone's fucking pregnant now.
Oh.
It's disgusting.
That's a
Yeah.
problem in your friend group, not
it's
mine.
family.
Oh.
Literally family.
That's a
Yeah.
problem in your family, not
Well,
mine.
no, it's both. It's just like everyone decided to get pregnant, and then I told this to my friend. She goes, "How old are you?" I go, 33. She's like, "Oh, there it is. Yeah, it's the time." And I was like, "Wow."
It's the time.
I'm very happy, very joyous for everyone's babies. But
Yeah.
I just have to keep buying the same book over and over again, which is The Odyssey for Babies, and that's 100% true.
That's what you've been buying?
It's a board book, and it's The Odyssey.
How many Odyssey for Babies are you planning to buy?
I bought 2 so far. Nicole's getting a 3rd.
Great.
This will come out after Nicole's baby shower, so that's fine.
I'm guessing like what? Okay, have you already gotten one for Shauna and their babies? So what? Like,
All right, fine. I owe Shauna 2 baby
So
books.
5 and 6?
you gotta play catch up now.
I
Yeah.
do. I feel
Yeah.
bad. I haven't sent. You know what? They never send me anything, so it's fine.
It's
Oh,
fine.
you know, that's the excuse.
That
right.
it's a better. I'm poor.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, speaking of poor, welcome
I
to
can't afford
Femmes reading
anymore.
Phil.
Robert.
Robert can't afford any more Femmes reading Phil.
I'm Emily,
I'm Jess.
and we have a very special lawyer of the pod, brother of the pod,
Brother
guest.
of the pod.
We'll call him Robbie B, so he's incognito.
Yeah, that was one of the questions I was going to
Call
ask.
me Robbie B.
Okay, should I refer to you as Robbie B?
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Rob.
call you Rob or Bobby, most likely.
Yeah. Emily always calls me Bobby.
Yeah, I'm
That's
like
a
I'm
thing.
like the only person that calls him Bobby.
Okay.
The only person that calls me Bobby. Everybody else calls me Rob.
Okay.
And it was because of the Proud family,
oh.
where the brother of like the dad in the Proud family, his name is like Bobby. I think it's Bobby, right? Bobby Proud.
I think it's Bobby Proud.
It
yeah.
is, but I always thought he was saying Bobby Brown.
Brown.
And so his brother would come in and he'd go, Bobby Proud, Bobby Proud. And so I would go, Bobby
Bobby
Brown,
Brown.
Bobby Brown. And I would go like, we'd just be at dinner and I'd be like, Bobby, pass the salt. And my mom would be like, what the fuck? Because it just like came out one day.
Yeah.
And it
then
just stuck.
And he was just like, he like didn't say anything. So that in my head is like, I must keep going.
As an older sibling, every time you tell a story about your childhood, I go, yeah, that's a younger sibling right there.
You know, and it's not, I feel like this is nowhere near like,
That's some shit my little sister would do at family dinner.
this is not like How Did This Get Made though, where I tell stories and people are like, what happened to you? I feel like I tell stories and it's just so clear that it's like, oh, Emily is the youngest
Every
child.
episode you do, we get a clearer idea of your psyche and you know, where you come from, and it's like, wow, it's like a giant puzzle that's being put together as we do more episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did I ever tell you what I would do to annoy my little sister? Because
What?
it scared her.
I'm also, this is so funny. We have 2 older siblings. We have 2 younger siblings.
We do.
Kaylee, sister-in-law of the pod, is behind the camera right now.
Yes, she's in the cuck chair, and we
she's
appreciate
in the cuck
her
chair.
for hanging out with
Thanks
us.
for being cucked.
Yes. But yeah, when we were younger, because my sister and I had rooms next to each other, and we shared a vent, and I discovered that I could make this sound. And so I would go up to the vent and just go,
And you'd scare her.
and she would know it was me, but she goes, "Stop this!"
I feel like there was some. I feel like I don't know what it was, but at a certain point, like you know how like in like I was gonna say in canon of families, but like usually an older sibling can like torment, especially a brother can torment a younger sister.
Yeah.
and I feel like there are things that you did that were awful and you're the worst, but also
Like what? Though?
I think there was some point there was a turn, and I just like destroyed you.
You were wreaking havoc on me more than I was to you.
Truly.
That's how I remember.
I like found my power And my favorite thing I would do is we had like a house. We lived in a house. Fun fact.
Great.
Sorry.
Cool. Good for you.
Listeners, whatever.
Let's not offend anybody that doesn't have a house.
Yeah,
Right.
boxes are
None of
homes
us.
too. So, and it was like when you walked up the stairs, it was Robert's room and our parents' room, and then you had to walk a long hallway, and then it was me and a guest room. So I was like alone on my side of the house,
you had
on
your
my wing.
Yeah.
But I would like crawl across the hallway, which was like it was open, so you could see like the den underneath. So anyone could see me up there, but I would like crawl, and Robert would always be in his room, like either on his computer or like playing video games in his chair. And I was like a psychopath. I would crawl.
It was like out of a horror movie. I do remember this.
Yeah. And I would like sit there for like 5 minutes, like making sure
Just watching.
he felt safe.
And because it was like, I always feel like when I'm alone, like when anybody's alone, like they'll probably just like hum to themselves or sing to themselves.
Yeah.
Because it's like, who's watching?
Which is that's normal. It's fine. But
And
then
I do fondly remember there was, do you remember from Mars Attacks?
you fondly remember this?
Yes, I
Were
fondly
you
remember
singing
this
"I
when I
Want to
was.
Go Home"?
No, it was that was not the song. It was, I don't know what the song was, but it's like a Slim Whitman song where he's like, ooh.
Yeah. The yodeling and it.
When I'm calling
Then
you. Like, and I did that.
I was
and
singing the SpongeBob song.
And then you were like, you snuck up behind me because that's what you usually did. And you're like, what are you doing? I'm like, God damn it. I did it again.
Yeah.
She just would like to observe. She would just hang out and observe.
But I mean, I think I was hearing that and
Right.
going, that time I was what the hell? But
Yeah.
like
Yes.
other times I would just wait and he'd be like, and I'd be like, what are you doing? And then he'd go, ah! Like he would scream, ah! Like really high pitched. And then my mom would be somewhere going,
Yep.
Emily. It's a
Yep.
usual.
Yes.
It's a one big sigh. You know mom heard because you just go, Emily.
She's so
Rob.
tired.
Yeah,
She's just tired.
She's exhausted by us constantly.
Yeah.
And I think that's correct.
My mom's version of that was, I'm watching General Hospital.
My mom would be reading. Mom reads. She does watch some shows, but she would be like, I'm reading.
My mom had General Hospital time when we were not allowed to talk to her. That was like nap time. And she was like, I don't care if you nap. You're going to be in your room, quiet, so I can watch it. It was General Hospital and whatever was immediately after it. That
Amazing.
was like her hour.
Days of Our Lives or something.
Something like that. It was
Yeah.
like, everyone shut the fuck up. I need.
That's so funny.
I need. But my mom was like a stay-at-home mom who was like, "You guys need to stop, or else I'm going to lose my mind."
gonna
so that
fucking
was
kill
her
you.
designated.
Yeah.
Like, otherwise I'm going to kill you. Time.
Yeah. Mom never fully did that.
But
to
none
us.
of this has anything to do
yeah,
with what
sorry.
we're talking about
Whoops.
with the podcast today.
Well, yeah. Before we even say what we're doing, even though you already saw, we ask people questions.
Yep.
When they are our guests. So ready for this? Fast paced.
All right, go ahead.
Do you know how to read?
Yes.
Do you read?
Yes.
What's the last book you read?
Oh, I don't read books. No.
What do
you read?
I read legal documents. I read like evidence.
Redacted. All this is redacted.
And I don't. Yeah, all this is redacted. But yeah, I mean, I don't read things unless I'm able to bill for it and make money off of it.
Okay.
Do you actually
Valid.
want us to cut that out? Okay. You know what? Tell me later.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if you had to like narratively, what would you lean towards? I mean, you watch a lot of movies, you watch a lot of TV shows, so that could translate to books.
Yeah. Do you have a genre that you enjoy?
Yeah.
Okay, that's actually funny because I was looking on Amazon and I've actually wanted to get into like all the James Bond books. 'Cause I
Oh,
love,
like the Ian Fleming stories.
Yeah, like Ian Fleming, exactly.
Yeah.
Like I remember, like, and there was a couple of things that I've done, like spy thriller, like not Tom Clancy or anything like that, but something similar,
like thriller kind of mystery, but like spy.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
That reads.
Yes.
Yeah. You want a kind of a whodunit, but also like the ins and outs.
I do like whodunits, and I think it's like, especially with Knives Out, like it's gotten me back into whodunits.
I do love a whodunit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The latest Knives Out was so.
It was good. Have you seen it?
good.
Yes, yeah, we have seen it, and it's like, I think it's one of those ones you have to watch like more than once because I think
Yeah.
there's a lot that's going on.
I knew immediately you would love it.
I loved it.
Jessica.
I loved it.
Yeah.
It was.
I loved it.
I've been seeing so many TikToks about the main guy, the priest,
Josh O'Connor.
Thank you. It was
Yeah.
like Josh something with the tattoo on his neck.
Yeah.
and people being like every time I screamed every time I saw that
That
tattoo.
slutty.
Why does that? Oh, why
It's
does
a
that make
slutty
so
tattoo.
much sense that like people would find that like it
just-
awakens something inside of them.
Well,
when they see
priests
a-
are
a
very
priest.
hot.
Well, that's
Priests are
what
very
it is.
hot right
it's
now.
it's the high neck, stiff collar, but like underneath there's the hint.
There's an animal.
the hint of the rough past.
And
it's
he
like
killed a man in the past, so it's
so
like,
so hot.
so hot. This something about knowing about a little bit about the personality underneath the priest.
Famously, I think I've said it on here. Love forearms. Love an arm on a man.
Of course.
And there's a few scenes where he rolls up his sleeves and he has like tattoos on his forearms. And I was like, okay.
And that is such a romance novel trope
That
as
is.
well. Is like the very buttoned up man, but then he takes off his shirt
And he's full of
Full of
tattoos.
tattoos. Yeah, that's a whole thing.
Last question.
Oh,
though.
yeah.
What are your fandoms? You know what a fandom is.
Like fandoms, yeah.
So like,
Can you dumb down fandom
Yes, like-
for me? Yeah.
So it's basically like, for example, I would say that I was in, when it was on the air, the BBC Sherlock fandom. I was so excited for the episodes to come out. I was like on Reddit looking up stuff about it.
you learn
know.
everything about it.
I know a bunch about it. Like, are there any pieces of media, like movies, TV shows, books, whatever, that you would be a fan of?
Definitely Star Wars is the biggest one.
He had
Okay.
every Star Wars book. Like, you know those big books, like
Oh, yeah.
coffee table size books?
Yes.
That's what he had. Like, I have books. He had those with like all the machines and like the fighter jets and like the parts of the fighter jets. I remember these
yeah.
books.
Yeah, they were the cross-section books.
Got it. Yeah.
So, but even like well before Disney bought out the Star Wars media and
Yeah.
everything, and they started making new movies, like I would read these books, like, and these were also like novels, like they were like not fan fiction, but it was like books that were being written.
Oh,
they,
yeah,
they
like
were like
taking place after
they were
the
canon,
events of
though.
the last movie. Yeah.
They were like in canon.
Yeah, like I
Yes.
read a few about Thrawn. Was that his name?
Yeah,
there
the
were a few
Thrawn.
of those.
Yes,
Yep.
that's right.
Yeah.
I didn't know you read these.
I read a few, yeah.
Okay.
I tried to get into the Star Wars books because I loved the movies, but for whatever reason, I think I might have been too young trying to read them because they were pretty like deep lore.
Yeah.
Some
Yeah.
of them.
Yeah. Do you have any others? I mean, not as you don't have to go as hard as Star Wars. But
No,
like,
that's probably
like
just the biggest one.
James
I can at
Bond,
least
I think
of.
you would
James
be-
Bond certainly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then those are the
like
big two.
I love
but-
Doctor Who. I love like Percy Jackson, like things like that. So yeah, but those are. But you are kind of like me in the sense that you are very like you know other things.
Yes.
Like you know what Supernatural is. You know what like Suits is. I don't know. You know like random TV shows.
I do. I have a vast like knowledge of like useless trivia.
Right.
Runs in the family.
Yeah.
Wait, that's what happens when you're partially grown up through VH1.
Yes.
Like classic
Yes.
VH1
Oh my
shows
God, yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
We were raised on.
We know everything. But yeah, so I feel like you have a good knowledge of everything, but those are probably your big top two.
Definitely, and I say Star Wars because that's like the closest I've ever come to like actually reading books, like that came from these things that people were thinking of, like, oh, what happens after the last movie? Like, I want to know what
Yeah.
happens before this or after this. It's like that makes the most sense for me because
Yeah.
that's what I actually remember reading.
You're like
and
building out the
really
world.
truly getting into. Yes, that's right.
I don't think those are kind of like our top four questions.
Yeah.
I don't think I have any more.
No, I think we're
Yeah.
good. Do you want
Okay.
to get into the topic?
Get your money's worth.
We
I know,
did.
we're being charged.
We did it. We decided to pander to our audience, aka you, and we chose lawyers.
Lawyers
as a
is our
theme.
is our
course you
theme.
did.
Because you're a lawyer for nothing. We're not telling you where you work.
No.
And I initially found one that was like mafia meets like a mafioso falls in love with his lawyer, and I was like, that'd be perfect for you. But then it got too serious. It got too like.
What does that mean?
It was very like there are some books where the writing is so flowery that I'm like, ugh, like
Yeah.
like sappy.
it's sappy. This one was more like, think of like Batman, where it's like, I was born of sin and now I choose to fight it every day as a defense attorney. And
Yeah, like
it's
too
shit like
full
that.
of itself.
It was too full of itself,
Yeah,
yeah.
I've done
Okay.
that before.
So
where
I
I'm-
switched.
Yeah.
I switched and I chose Loyal Lawyer,
Incredible.
part of the Falling for the Stars series.
Is it the first, the second? What,
It's the
where is
first.
it in the series?
It's the first, I believe. I don't know. I haven't seen any other from the series. So,
Okay.
Also, wait. I'm gonna wait till the very end to ask you this question. Never mind. It's by Janine Collette and Lauren Runow. Runow.
Oh, so it's written by two people?
It's a dual, yeah.
duo?
And it's 321 pages. So it's pretty like a normal sized book for me, I'd say.
Okay, cool.
Okay, ready?
Yes.
Any questions before we start?
No. Give it to me.
No.
Okay. I was more asking him. I know you don't have any questions.
You never know.
You never know.
I
Go
could
for it.
have a curveball for you.
Okay. Amy gets a call from her previous landlord that she owes $4,500.
Girl.
That's how the book starts. It's just,
All right.
she picks up the phone.
All right.
Oh, I'm already stressed out. For it.
She 3 months ago, she left the apartment that she lived with her ex-boyfriend Hardin. And he cheated on her with the dog walker. He moved the dog walker into the apartment. And then she was like, well, I'm not staying here, and left. But her name was on the lease. So it turns out Hardin split without paying the last month's rent.
Yeah, she shouldn't have left the apartment in the first place.
Should
Go
not,
on.
yeah. So he split without paying last month's rent, and he trashed the place. So he like there's like a hole behind the bed. The sink is like ripped out of like the wall.
Okay.
Like there's just like shit like the floor is like ruined. I don't know, it's shit everywhere.
Yeah.
And he took her dog. And
Boo.
named Lady Featherington. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Truly?
It's a Bridgerton.
Okay,
Yeah.
I was
Anytime
like,
a dog gets involved like that,
It's a
like,
Pomeranian, which I was like, okay.
Well, okay. Pomeranians are little shit dogs.
He bought the dog for her as a gift.
Okay.
And then he like took it. It was very sad. So she's spittingly mad. And she's like, I'm going to call him to give him a piece of my mind and also be like, I don't have $4,500. This is insane. So she calls, but she like deleted his number. So she's like, oh my God. Okay. So she's dialing the number, beep, boop, boop, beep. And it's like, she picks, or the person on the other end picks up and she starts yelling. And it was like, you fucking asshole. Like, you owe me this much money. Like, how could you? I know you're such a dick already, but like, blah, blah, blah. And the other person on the line is like, well, this is not expected. And it turns out it's a wrong number.
oh,
It's a wrong number.
interesting.
She accidentally called Sebastian Blake,
Of course, his name is Sebastian Blake.
who is an attorney.
What?
And was
Why is it the most attorney sounding name?
Exactly. It's got to be Sebastian Blake.
attorney at law. And he's like an everything attorney.
Okay.
Like
A jack of all trades.
yeah. Well, isn't that, I don't
Sebastian of all trades.
a Sebastian, what are they called? Like a civil defense or a defense attorney or like
There's
a,
different kinds of lawyers, obviously, but there's like.
But like, what's
you're-
I don't know what it's like, an everything lawyer. Isn't there one of those?
I don't think that's
like
a thing.
a general counsel?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I guess
yeah.
he's like a general counsel.
Because I feel like usually it is. There's a specialization.
I know. I think there is, but he does everything apparently.
Fine. We don't need to like.
We don't know. We
if
don't
the
know.
Is he,
book doesn't.
is he a litigator?
What does that mean?
You're actually doing cases like if somebody sues or if
Yes.
there's criminal litigation, there's civil litigation. Like civil litigation is like if you slip and fall on a banana peel in a store,
I think
then
he
you
does.
sue the store.
I think he does litigation. So
Maybe we'll find out as the more you.
who knows?
Yeah,
Who knows?
yeah.
Honestly, hope and a prayer. I wrote
Maybe-
it down.
Yeah, I hope so too.
I-
'Cause I have a lot of questions already.
And the
So-
theme is lawyers.
The theme is-
let's just get back to that.
I knew this was going to make him mad. I got so excited. So she calls Sebastian Blake. My accent gets so thick right now.
Sebastian Blake.
Sebastian Blake.
Yeah.
And he kind of hears all this stuff that she was yelling, and he gets like invested in the drama. And he's like, listen, this kind of sounds like a shitty situation. Like, I'm actually a lawyer. Like, do you need help? And she's like, no, I can do this on my own, but like, thank you. I appreciate it. He's like, well, I am like invested. Like, I hope I somehow like find out what happens. And she's like, sounds good. Thanks.
Okay.
And she's like, also, I have no money. I could never like pay you. I understand that. She is a chocolatier who is trying to open her own shop.
What the?
Wait, and did we get her name and I missed
Amy.
it? Amy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Amy Morgana.
No, Emily. That's Emily.
Well, that's her name. I didn't make it. It's
Every single book that Emily brings to the table, I make fun of the names every time because they're insane.
Amy and Sebastian is not a
Amy
crazy.
Morgana and Sebastian Blake and Hardin.
Hardin. Yeah, that's the one I was like.
Hardin.
Hardin is the ex,
Hardin.
which I only think of the After series. His name is
Yeah.
Hardin.
So anyway, Amy is a chocolatier.
she's a chocolatier.
She
who's
has no
trying-
money.
No.
What?
Well, so she left this place. She's
It's
renting
all
a
invested
kitchen.
in her chocolatier business.
Right.
Yes, she's
right.
renting a kitchen. It's like in this building, and it's half a gym, half a kitchen. It used to be like something else.
Okay.
So she's renting that. She's sleeping there right now. There's like an office that she's kind of staying in with a futon. She likes jazz. We know that. And
Of course she likes jazz.
And she's applying for a bank loan, and funds are tight. So she's applying for a bank loan to like expand the business. She has an employee.
She cannot get
The
a
Human
bank-
Torch
could
cannot get a bank
loan.
was denied.
Was
Denied a bank loan.
Sorry. Something about
The
bank
Human
loan.
Torch. That is so funny. My favorite one is, oh no, they're taking the children. They're coming down the stairs. I had to pull the mic away.
They're coming through the back door.
So,
Hello.
so funds are tight. She can't be taken to court by her ex-landlord, and
Right.
she's kind of realizing this. She can't have anything like on her record because she's applying for this bank loan as well. So she ends up calling Sebastian for help. And they meet at like a cafe because she's like, what if he's like, she kind of looked him up, but she's like, I don't know, what if he's fucking weird or whatever.
Right.
So they meet at a coffee shop, and he's hot. Sandy blonde hair, tan skin, chiseled jaw, and a Romanesque nose is what they wrote.
Of course.
We never really get like a description of her, but I know she has like long dark hair that she braids back at one point.
Well, she is the person that we're projecting all of ourselves onto, and so I guess
Correct.
she doesn't need an appearance.
Correct. He says he's very successful, charging $700 an hour.
Is that
That's quite a bit.
okay?
Thoughts?
We wouldn't know.
We wouldn't, yeah.
Yeah.
And for every large verdict he wins, he pays it forward by helping someone pro bono.
Cute.
So
Okay.
he's like, I would do this pro bono. She asks him to tell her and himself. She asks him to tell her and himself about himself, and he lists like all these things because she's like, I don't know you, like I don't know if you're a weirdo. I don't know. Like, tell me a little bit. Like, I looked up. You're very successful, but like, who are you as a person? I don't know.
Yeah.
And so he like lists all these things that are like nice. And he also says that his favorite book is George Orwell's 1984, to which I said, ew.
Kind of a red flag.
I think that is a red flag.
But why I can't? I'm feeling that, but I can't articulate why. Why did you feel red flaggy?
I
about
just
that?
like, I remember reading that book and being like upset by it. It's a lot of like, it's just like,
Like end of the world kind of thing.
yeah, it's like what's the bad dystopian future?
Dystopian
Yeah.
future, Big Brother.
Big Brother.
It's
and-
very serious. If somebody told me that was their favorite book, I would go, "Is it?"
I'd that too, but I think like what's the other one? George Orwell,
Animal
Farm.
Farm.
If he said Animal Farm, I wouldn't have had such a strong reaction, and I don't know why.
Huh? Yeah.
Because there's
I
animals.
agree with you, but I can't articulate why.
Thank you.
Yeah.
If you want to agree with us, DM us
Slide
at
into our DMs.
Femmes Reading Filth.
Right.
I say this during bingo a lot. I'll just like do a random thing. I'm like, if you know what kind of bug kills its mate, DM us at Bingo Betches.
Just shamelessly plugging your podcast.
I always shamelessly
Always.
plug
Yeah, I
everything.
mean, you have to.
Yeah. So ew for that. Her current work, we learn, is more about the kitchen in Chinatown, the front half, blah, blah, blah. And she has an employee, Sean, and they're making it work. We meet Charity, her best friend.
Cool.
And she's like a server somewhere else, and she'll come in and like hang out with them while they're making chocolates or whatever.
Server named Charity.
server named Charity.
Server by day, probably a stripper by night.
No, just a normal gal.
Okay, all right.
I do. Okay, here, I'll say it now. I do think this book has some weird Christian undertones,
Okay.
which I didn't know when I picked it up.
Oh.
Yeah. So
Because of charity, or
no, but I feel like
please
that was
point-
the first like, huh.
please point them out along the way.
I
Yeah.
will. So they're all hanging out in the kitchen when Amy gets a call from Sebastian asking to meet again, and Charity is like, "Oh my God, you like him? You blushed when you picked up the phone." We hear about Charity and Sean's love lives, and here's a fact: Sean he tends to date kind of crazy women with Y's in their name. So think like Lauren spelled with a Y.
Got it.
So, and that's just something, or like, I don't know, Marie? spelled
Megan with a Y.
Megan, thank you. I was like, I
Yeah.
couldn't think of anything else.
Marie.
I just get so annoyed.
The Y is silent. M-Y. Myrie.
Just Mary, but you pronounce it.
That's
Marie.
my fault. That's my fault. The French would call it Marie.
Right.
Millie.
So she goes the next night to his office, and it's kind of after hours. So she ends up bringing Chinese food. And he says that the place she rented, he like did a bunch of research. The place she rented was never updated with legal updates to make it a livable apartment in the. This takes place in Philadelphia.
Got it.
By the rules of the city of Philadelphia. They're going to send a letter being like, drop the charges and we won't sue for not having a livable space.
Can I really quickly? Total tangent, but
Yep.
the guy that does my hair used to do hair in Philly.
Oh.
At a very high end salon where a lot of the like lawyers and government people that worked there went,
Okay.
and specifically their wives.
Oh.
And he was like, I heard the most insane insider government gossip about the city of Philadelphia
Oh, boy.
working at that salon.
Oh,
He was like,
shit.
I kind of miss it, but it was so intense. I
could imagine.
Yeah, he was like, because I was like, well, some of the best gossip you've ever heard. He was like, it was working at that salon
Oh,
from
he
like,
probably hears gossip like that like a lot of the time.
but he got like lawyers' wives in Philly gossip.
Yeah.
while doing their highlights.
That-
Anyway,
I think he should just pitch that as a reality show.
I think so
Yeah,
too.
or write it in a book.
Or write it in a book.
Yeah. That
It's
could be
full
the
of
next
juicy
legal thriller.
and full of juicy materials. And I think that it's a treasure trove.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I'm sure.
So they'll drop the charges. she's like, love this idea. Let's do it. They eat and they chat and they have some chemistry. When they leave the office, Sebastian is like, hey, since you're not my client anymore, because like this is all done, like, do you want to grab a drink? Like, I'm kind of not tired. And she's like, oh my God, yes. And they go to the oldest bar in Philadelphia, which was made like around the time the Liberty Bell cracked. I don't know. I feel like they're either from Philadelphia or they were like,
They went on the Wikipedia.
Yeah.
Same thing with, I also was like, do one of them have like a background in chocolate making? Because there's a lot of random like facts
about chocolate.
that I'm like, what? Like,
I love that.
and I was like, I love that. It's like me when I'm like, I know something, I'm going to put it in the book. And it makes no sense, but it kind of like worked for this. Yeah. So they go to the oldest bar in Philly. She talks about how she became a chocolatier. He in turn talks about like embarrassing stories about himself, and she jokes like how sexy it is, like his embarrassing stories. The banter turns very flirty and it's like a lot of back and forth, and he finally is like, can I have your number? And she's like, yes. The next week, he's like, I want to like take you on a date. She's like, love this.
He's being very respectful with his timelines.
Yes.
Compared to other stories that we've done, this is a very slow burn.
Red flag number one as to why this might be a Christian romance. Okay.
Right. A lot of respect is
Yeah.
happening.
A
That's
lot
unusual.
of respect, which I'm like,
Yeah.
what's going on?
Wow.
here?
So that's
That's-
not a quality you really see in these books that you usually read.
Yeah, and I'm really worried it's going to go into my personal life.
Especially her, she'll pick like the most problematic mafia bullshit
Yeah,
of
man.
like they're arranged married and so they need to
I do
kiss to
think-
know if they have any chemistry the first day that they met.
And I do think here's a little tidbit I'm about to drop, that maybe growing up in a basement full of mafia posters might have
That's
had
true.
might have had an
Had an impact?
yeah, an impact on
That's
me.
fair.
I wish you had ever seen that house.
I wish. I can only picture it. You've described it and I really wish I knew
you
what it
would have
was.
been like, wow.
I just picture my childhood basement but covered in Godfather posters.
It
Oh,
was,
yeah.
Well, Godfather. It was like
Goodfellas.
the Goodfellas,
Godfather, Goodfellas,
Sopranos. Right when you walked in,
Sopranos, Casino,
and then
Once Upon a Time in America.
yes, and then you would turn two Star Wars posters,
Right.
or one,
And then
For
the
Rob.
Matrix one.
the
right?
Matrix poster was there, and then you
For
turn
Kim.
again because it was kind of like a big circle. 90s Dream Team Bulls,
Oh, that's right. And there'd
Bulls
be like
and Blackhawks.
there was like the Walter Payton one too, like football.
that was up in Dad's office.
Oh, that's
and
right.
then you'd make one more turn, and there was kind of like one pool table paraphernalia.
Yeah.
Then it was back to mafia.
No, it kind of like it blended in.
It
Because
did blend. It was all my
because
it's my
it-
dad to a T.
Yeah.
when we're talking about that pool table. It was a picture of the Rat Pack playing pool.
Oh yes, that's
my
and the
God.
guy
And Jackie Gleason
yes.
from The Hustler.
Oh
my God.
Playing pool.
Yeah, you guys had the most Chicago ass basement.
did.
in the
We
world.
really did. It was so funny.
But it was
So,
a very popular basement, you know.
Yeah,
We had
sure.
all of our
We
friends
did.
over all the
Oh
time.
yeah,
we had the
It was
basement,
the party
house.
basement.
Yeah.
Yep.
So the next week they go out to dinner. They go to Ocean Prime, which I was like, we have an Ocean Prime here. Take that, Philly. She gets dressed up in a hot red cocktail dress. They have a lovely time. And then he takes her to a jazz club because he heard on the phone her listening to jazz. It's very romantic. And then I said, as a note, am I broken? Because I went, oh, and then I went, oh, that's not a good.
You were
like,
suspicious.
I was
of the
suspicious.
jazz club.
Okay.
Got it.
He says he wants to kiss her and is like, I don't know if I'll be able to stop. And then they kiss at the jazz club. He drives her home, seeming disturbed that she lives in a kitchen at the moment. And he has to drop her off like in an alleyway too. So he's like, I don't like this.
Can I just say one thing?
Yeah.
Jazz Club. Sebastian. Was this after La La Land?
Is his name Sebastian?
His name is
Yeah.
Sebastian
In
in that
La La
movie,
Land.
and he's obsessed with jazz.
Well, he's not obsessed with jazz.
But
She
maybe.
is. Maybe though. That
I'm
could've
just seeing
inspired
these
it.
correlations.
Some inspiration. Yeah.
I famously hate that movie. So
I don't like that movie either.
thank you. You liked it.
I liked it. Yeah.
I got very upset by that movie.
Why?
It like made me feel a lot of sadness.
Oh well.
Oh,
yes.
that's why you don't like it?
Sometimes
Yeah.
it's supposed to do that.
I don't want that.
Okay, well, that's
wanna
not
watch-
the movie's
I wanna
fault
watch Clue.
necessarily.
I wanna
That
watch
means
Clue
that
for the 10th
That
time.
means that the movie did what it was trying to do.
That's
Actually,
That's a
All
good
right, well,
point.
you can go suck an egg.
All
okay.
right.
He drives
drops her off in an alley.
Yes, and they have a very hot and heavy makeout in the car. She invites
Cute.
him in, and he's like, "No, I want to do this right." And he's like, "Damn, you're right." Hardin, the next day, knocks on the door to the kitchen.
Okay.
And is like, "You owe me money since our landlord kept the security deposit." And she's like, "Are you fucking joking? Like he kept the security deposit because you trashed the place."
Right.
And then she's like, "You know what? Give me my dog back." And he's like, "I'll sell it to you for $5,000." And she's
Damn.
like, "Oh my God, what a piece of shit."
Yeah.
That night she goes to Sebastian's house to cook for him a lobster bisque. I think it's because his name is Sebastian. and he seems
You had to include like a shellfish dish.
They
in
had to
there
be, yeah.
because of Sebastian.
A reference.
And as she's cooking, he seems very like distant and off. And this is very weird because the last 2 times that he's been like all about her.
Yeah.
And he tells her today that his ex-girlfriend, who he was with for 6 months, and it was an amicable breakup, called and told him that she was pregnant. They both like each other so much. Amy and Sebastian like tell each other that they both like each other.
An amicable breakup, like they broke up at a gas station.
Yeah, and that's where she got pregnant.
Amicable, dick. And I'm talking a lot here. And they both like each other so much. And Amy is honest and is like, look, I just got out of something with a shitty guy.
Right.
And this is a huge thing for you. And I want you to devote time to like a child. And I just don't want either of us to get hurt. And so she kind of breaks it off.
Right.
And she's very sad.
Yeah.
And he's very sad. And he's like, I kind of get it.
I think I can see where this is going and where it ties into the Christian of it all. Please keep.
So it's been a few weeks. It's Easter, and she goes home to see her family, and it's exhausting. She's the youngest of 5. Her parents are fine; they're just kind of passive, and all her siblings are like, well, you don't have a real job because like you live in a kitchen, and like they're very just judgmental, and I'm like, fuck that. Like they're exhausting.
Okay.
And I was like, I hate them all. Hardin calls and is like, what the fuck? Why is a lawyer calling me? So it's now been weeks since she broke it off with Sebastian. Turns out Sebastian, or Seb, as I start calling him in my notes because I got tired of writing Sebastian. Fair. Called Hardin, telling him that they are suing for the dog. Hardin is like, why are you still so hung up on me? Like you're obsessed with me. You keep like involving me in things. And she's like, what is wrong with you? Fuck off. So she's called to the lawyer's offices. They meet. Seb does his thing. And basically he's like, I have proof. Like I have 30 witnesses that say they saw my client like walking the dog all the time and da 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 da. And you only bought it as a gift. And it's in her position. Like it's this whole thing. And she's like, what? Cause she had no idea any of this was happening.
Which is weird.
I know. And basically gets the dog back for her and a painting and money, which is lovely.
What is that like?
A painting?
Yeah, I guess she had also mentioned, I forgot to write it down. She had
Popped up out of nowhere.
She had mentioned that he kept her painting or something.
Okay.
So then in his office, they like hug and it turns into a kiss. And it's getting hot and heavy, and he lifts her on the desk. And then the phone, they do the thing where they kind of swipe stuff off. He lifts her up. The phone like gets knocked off the hook, and they're like, "Oh, haha!" And we go to pick it up, and she sees on his desk a framed picture of an ultrasound, and it's like a bucket of cold water.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh, we can't like." We already said we shouldn't do this, blah, blah, blah. But the dog and the painting are returned to her the next day, and she celebrates by making peanut brittle. She's a chocolatier. And Sebastian comes over to deliver like the money because he says that the law firm has to do it. Otherwise, it's like not official. And I was like, I don't know.
Is that a thing?
Wait, giving her money like because she won?
That Hardin had to pay her. So he paid the law firm. The law firm has to give it
Yes.
to.
Yeah,
All
that
right.
makes sense.
I love that we're getting.
Would he have hand delivered it to her kitchen?
Well, I don't think you should be mailing checks.
No, typically it's like you have them come over to the firm.
Yeah.
So yeah,
She would go pick
give
it up.
to you.
Yeah.
So he just wanted to see her.
Yeah, he did.
And he comes in. He's like, "Oh, what's? I know what peanut brittle is. I don't know how to make it." And she's like, "Do you want to come in and learn?" He's like, "Yeah." And they kind of have a lovely flirty night, but it's totally friendly. And they're just chatting and baking, and they talk about like their dead grandmas and shit. And she gets an order the next day. Like Sean, her employee, is like, "We just got an order for $10,000. It's like a company like party, and there's all these. We have to do boxes, and they want a chocolate fountain and all this stuff." And she's like, "Oh my god, who it is? Like, who was it?" And it's the law firm.
Of course it was.
And she wants to turn it down because she doesn't want handouts. But then Charity, her friend, is there and is like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" Like
It's a $10,000 handout. It's pretty good.
They're
business.
paying you for business.
Right.
I know.
It's not
Which listen,
not charity, no pun intended.
As someone who also doesn't want to be like given things, I mean, I do and I don't. Like, I have a weird thing about that, you know. But in that case, I'm like, no, that's gonna help expand your business.
Yeah, dude.
So she says yes.
You're being rewarded for your work. Like,
Right.
like, what is the problem?
There's nothing creepy.
The event's a hit. Everyone loves the pairings. They do pairings of like chocolate with drinks.
Cute.
So it's like, oh, I made this like fudge that goes great with a whiskey, whatever. Or I made this that goes.
Yeah.
So everyone got their like chocolates matched to their drinks, and it was cool. And she gives her card to a bunch of people. Sebastian dances with Amy, and she's like in her chef's coat, and she's like, "This is weird." And he's like, "No, it's not." And there's a moment where he leans in to kiss her, but he hesitates. And then she takes that as a like, I need to go.
He's at work, girl.
I know.
It's a work event.
I know. He's
Yes.
the boss.
Yeah.
His name is on the partner. He's a partner.
Yeah, you're in your chef coat. He can't
he's
kiss
in
you on the dance floor.
I know. I was like, this looks wrong.
Ugh.
After the event, Sebastian comes to her house and says he's crazy about her. He can't stop thinking about her, and that he talked to the ex, like his ex,
Okay.
who is pregnant,
Right.
and that they're both very firm on the fact that they just want to co-parent and not like get back together. Like they want to
Yes.
be just friends.
Right.
And there's just a big old declaration of love, and she's like, hell yeah, and then they do it, which leads to number one in the kitchen.
Oh
Because
no.
she gets this dog back. She gets a Pomeranian back. The Pomeranian has to stay in the office because she can't contaminate her kitchen with dog hair.
Right.
Yet they bang on the
They're-
on the cold steel tables.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
I mean, you can bleach those. It's not like them banging is flying around in the air.
You're right. Well,
probably.
I don't know what their
Eh?
bodies are like.
What do they do? Do they do flying through the air?
They do
type
flying
stuff?
through the air. No, it's like normal. Oh, well, and then they move to the futon, and I'm like, so the Pomeranian just watching you guys do it on this futon. I just wasn't a fan.
This
of
man must really be into her because he was willing to do this on a futon in the back of a kitchen.
Well, he was crazy about her. So
He's crazy
he
about
makes you
her.
do crazy things.
And the Pomeranian was presumably sitting there the whole time watching.
Yeah,
because it has
or
to
just
stay in that room.
or like sleeping on the little like dog bed that's next to the futon
oh, the worst.
while it's banging against the wall.
Pets
Yeah.
are the worst.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Pets are
with
the worst.
that.
The next few weeks are wonderful. Sebastian finally meets Charity. They talk about setting her up with a lawyer friend. They're in full like couple like
Yeah.
happiness.
Yeah.
Amy wants to hang out with Sebastian like on a certain night, and since she's going to sign the loan papers finally, but she learns that he is taking the mother of the kid out for dinner, and she's like, well, she like kind of has this jealousy, but she's like, no, it's fine, it's fine. She later invites him to her niece's birthday party, and he meets the entire family.
Cute.
Her siblings are so fucking annoying. They're grilling him, and it's like gross. Like one of her brothers is like, well, would you bench? And I'm like, ew, have they ever? I hated it.
Ew.
I hated all this banter.
As a lawyer who's gone to like many family events, I totally understand it, where it's like people will just bombard you with questions where you're just like, I just want to be left alone. I just want to be here and have a good time. Don't annoy me.
I don't think.
I get that.
What kind of questions do people ask you?
Yeah, have your future in-laws ever? When they first met you, did they ask you how much you benched?
Yeah, of course they did. Yeah.
And did they ask you about your investing? Because that's also, she has one brother that's like a bank investor, one brother that's like a teacher, a
Okay.
sister who's a something, I don't know, a marketing person, and then somebody. I was just like, they all go to their like work. The siblings are annoying. I would literally become violent, is what I wrote.
Great.
As time progresses, they're doing well as a couple. She meets him at the office one day, and Lauren, his friend or ex-girlfriend
Lauren
who's
with an
pregnant,
Baby
I-
mama. His
With
baby.
an I.
Yeah, Lauren with an I.
Yeah, with a K. It's very
Yeah.
silent.
like these names are already
Yeah,
annoying.
comes out of the office and it's awkward because they hadn't met before, and she's like beautiful. She has like this blonde hair, big
Course,
boobs,
of course.
and she's kind of cold towards Amy.
And we don't know what Amy looks like, so we can't even compare.
We have
but
no idea what Amy
definitely
looks
not
like.
blonde hair, big
no,
boobs. Got
dark
it.
long hair that once was pulled back into a braid.
Got it.
That's what we know.
Yep.
Amy has another like panic moment of like, if I wasn't in the picture, would you guys be together and make like a happy family, like a traditional family for this
Oh,
baby?
traditional family values.
Flag number 2.
Oh,
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah.
Yep.
Actually, I think there was a flag when the siblings met Sebastian as well. Like it was a lot of like, could you take care of my baby girl? And I'm
Right,
like,
right.
You've been together for a month.
A lot of gender roles.
A lot of
happening.
yes,
Yeah.
very traditional gender roles are being pushed, which is not bad. I'm not going to yuck someone's yum.
But it did make you go, this might be adjacent
little- yeah.
to. Yeah. Got it.
And she's worried that she's standing in the way of the family. He reassures her that he's in love with her, and she comes over again to try and cook that lobster bisque again because they never ate it the first time. And he's reassuring her they have to turn off the stove and go upstairs to have sex again, which I call number 2, a chocolate affair. Because they start.
You know what's just the most upsetting part about this is the fact that just food is left. It's like watching Kevin McAllister leave that macaroni and cheese when he's about to fight off the wet band.
Yeah. How many times has she reheated this lobster bisque, and is it still?
It's not even good at that
It's
point
not going to be
anymore.
good at that point.
No.
But she did make chocolate. And as they're going upstairs, she went, wait, grabs the Tupperware of chocolate, brings it upstairs. And I went, oh, we're going to get kinky. No.
No?
She made like the original Mayan chocolate recipe and was like, it's an aphrodisiac. So like they both they like take a bite and then they kiss and then they take a bite. And I was like,
They're just eating
Oh,
chocolate.
come on.
well, and like starting to be sexy and then they have sex. But I was like, I feel like there was a like we led up
This
to
is
something.
another Christian romance flag.
Another, because I
Yes.
was like, they would have had chocolate
In
bread.
in any other story you've brought to the table, they would have covered themselves in chocolate.
Yes. Or like something would have been ruined. Like we
Yes.
have to buy a new bed.
It sounds like the most vanilla like romance.
Hey, there you go.
Yep.
Later, the next day or whatever, it's Sebastian's birthday. They go on to a music festival. They end up on a double date with Charity and this other lawyer guy. It's fine. They're not a love match. But Amy does tell Sebastian that she loves him. Like a week later, Oliver is born. It's like when you read it, the time jumps make
So
sense.
much time is passing.
I know, it's a lot.
compared to a usual.
I know.
Also, my story is nothing like this, and I'm so excited.
Good. So Amy, and so Oliver is born. It's great. Amy is making gifts like chocolate, like boxes for Lauren and Sebastian because they just had a baby.
Cute.
And Sean, her employee, and her start talking. And it is revealed. He hears about this girl and he goes, wait. How do you spell her name?
With
She
an
goes,
eye.
she goes, Lauren? She goes, yeah. He goes, I thought it's the normal way. He takes out a phone. Do. She goes, is this the girl? And she goes, yeah. And he goes, that's Lauren with a Y. I know because I dated her. He goes, yeah, she was kind of crazy. And I go, oh no. And it's revealed that he hooked up with Lauren around the same time that her and Sebastian were breaking up.
Oh.
And now we don't know who the father is.
Oh my God. Get him on Maury.
I was kind of waiting for this.
Yeah. So he figures this, like they both figure this out. She's like, what do I do? And he's like, what do I do? I could be a father.
Right.
The next day, she like, or I don't know, she wakes up or something. Sean is in the kitchen. He's like drunk because he's freaking out.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
she's like, we need to do something. Sebastian comes over. He's like, I'm on lunch. What's up?
You're about to get bombarded.
Right.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
And he learns the truth. He's like, Sean's like, listen, I didn't know. Like it was at a ski chalet or something.
okay,
There was
of
a
course.
hot tub involved. Blah,
Right,
blah. It was a
right.
couple times. And Sebastian like blows up. He's like, he like turns to Amy and is like, you've always had one foot out the door of this relationship. You've never wanted me to have this kid. Like now you're doing this. And like, and it's very clear, like, he's so devoted to Oliver, the baby.
Yeah.
And like is obsessed with being his dad. So it's like,
yeah, the baby has been born
Yes.
at this point. Yes. So
but
yeah,
he's like
it's-
so happy. And I guess he's like, you never sleep over when Oliver's there because they like share custody, obviously. And like, you don't have any clothes at my house and like, you're doing this on purpose and blah, blah, blah.
Oof.
And she's like, the fuck? And he's like, I gotta go. And so then we get, this all has been from Amy's point of view. Now we have 2 chapters that are from Sebastian, and then we have one from Lauren, which I was like, this is
a lot.
random.
This
This
is
is
a lot.
weird.
This is a lot.
But Sebastian goes to he leaves and goes to Lauren's house and confronts her, and she's like, I don't know who the father is. I'm pretty sure I used protection. And he's like, what? And
Sometimes you don't know.
and they fight. A paternity test is ordered. Meanwhile, Amy is miserable, and her dad comes to visit. Oh, but before that, when the paternity test is ordered, Sean has to go in and he's like, dude, Amy's miserable. Like, you should talk to her. And he's like, no, I don't need to. I just need a baby. And I just need to know if I'm the father. And if not, like, I will sue you because I want to be this kid's dad. And he's
my
like,
God.
dude, chill out. And like, we didn't know. And then Lauren's also like, dude, like, we didn't know. Sorry, blah, blah, blah. And she kind of yells at Sebastian and is like, why are you mad at her for something I did?
Right.
Like, you're the one that's being an asshole. And so that we're at the end now.
Okay.
Amy's miserable. Her dad comes to visit. They talk about how she got there. And he says maybe he and her mother put too much emphasis on traditional family values, which is why she's pushing for them to have a traditional family without her, even though it hurts her heart. Them being Lauren, Sebastian, and Oliver.
Okay.
Then he says, do you know why you're our favorite child?
What?
Dude, I was like, ooh, oh, okay. Which again, like flag.
Yep.
Because you know why you're our favorite child? You were a surprise. We never had to push you to do anything, but you always went with the flow. Like we had to push your brothers and sisters to do sports and do this, and you kind of just did whatever you want. And then you'd be in the kitchen, and that was your domain. And it's like this pep talk, but it's kind of like
It seems so
it's kind of-
condescending.
It's a
Yeah.
little condescending, and it was just so jarring to be like, you know why you're our favorite, and I'm like,
Right.
whoa,
Right.
fuck that. Like,
Okay.
oh,
This explains
God.
a lot about why her siblings are the way they are. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
She drives to Sebastian's house and apologizes for having one toe out the door. He apologizes for accusing her of not liking his son.
Excellent.
And also he is the father, and they're both in love, and yay. Epilogue 3 years later.
Oh,
Oh, we're still not done.
shit.
Yeah. Amy and Sebastian are married with a baby on the way. I forgot to tell you this. Her and both of the families, like his parents, Lauren, her new husband, her whole family, they're all at the community theater watching The Wizard of Oz that Sebastian is in because he also does community theater.
So they just dropped that at the very end.
No, they dropped that earlier,
Or did
but
they set it up
I never
before?
thought it was
So
going to
you
come
forgot
back.
you forgot to tell us that the
Well, it
lawyer
was-
does community theater.
It was in like one of those things. It was in one of their like montages of like they're learning to
Who
know
is
each
he
other.
playing in The Wizard of Oz?
Scarecrow.
Oh wow,
Okay.
And Oliver, who's 3, is playing like a munchkin,
cute.
which is adorable.
That's adorable.
And they're at the performance. Later that night, they bang, which I call number 3 a sea of bliss because one of the last lines.
Did they bang
is-
like in the backstage of the community theater?
No, they
is
banged
he
at their
dressed-
house.
Is he dressed as the Scarecrow?
They banged at
Is
their
he
house.
wearing
Damn
the
it.
costume?
She's like 7 months pregnant too. She's like wicked huge.
Wow.
And one of the last lines is, and now as our bodies roar in a sea of bliss,
Boo.
we unite as one.
Ew.
And that's Loyal Lawyer.
I didn't like it.
No.
It was pretty funny though.
I didn't like it. A sea of bliss.
A sea of bliss.
No.
Yeah. So
babe,
that was
no.
that was Loyal Lawyer.
I could see Hallmark jumping right on that and making a movie.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
I do too.
Yes.
So I guess my question is, do you think he's a good lawyer? I couldn't think of a fun question because I'm like, that was such a nothing story.
It was such a nothing story.
I know.
Why'd you bring us a nothing story?
Because it's funny.
I can't say if he was a good lawyer because we got very little actual lawyering.
That's
But he
right. Oh.
got her the apartment. He got her the dog.
But we don't know how.
Yeah, exactly.
research.
He also got her the dog without being asked. Like he secretly lawyered her.
Okay, I think here's actually the question I'm going to ask. Do we think this is a Christian romance book? Yes or no? I think
Yes.
you do think it is?
Yes, because of what you were saying before. It's just, it reads and it reeks of all this traditional value stuff, which is like, it's very, seems like hardcore Christian.
Which let's not go on let's go on record and say there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with a Christian romance book. I just wasn't expecting it, and so
Yeah.
it took me by surprise.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
so there were undertones where I'm like, this could be taken this way.
It's not what I usually want to read, and it's not the type of value system that I tend to invest in. So it would be very jarring to be like, oh, yeah, I'm getting bits and pieces of this. I think it's probably on the edge because I've definitely encountered books like this that are much more over, like they're literally like, well, we should go to church together and like pray this out.
Yeah.
Like there
Yeah.
was none of that, but I think there was definitely a lot of, like you said, like kind of pushing a certain way of being. And anytime there is a pregnancy of any kind, I automatically go, oh, there might be some traditionalism happening in this.
There's definitely more conservatism
Yeah.
with what's in this book.
and I wonder if actually they wrote it and they were like, we need to market it to like more people.
Maybe.
And so if it's not a Christian romance, like that's a bigger audience. So I bet they like toned
They
it
might have
down.
toned it down.
They
Yeah.
probably did, yeah.
Yeah.
But it was fun. It was a fun, silly book. So that
Mine
was Loyal Lawyer.
is nothing like that.
Oh my
Mine
God.
is way weirder than what you just did.
I
and
can't wait.
It's gonna be a whole thing.
All right, we'll take a break.
I've never quibbled. If it was ribbled, I would devour where others merely nibbled, as the judge remarked the day that he acquitted my Aunt Hortense. To be
Okay,
smart,
so
must
just
be
some
utterly
background
without-
on the fan fiction of it all, because that's what I usually do is the fan fiction. There are not that many AU lawyer works, which is the tag that I used for this. AU in the fanfic universe, Rob, is alternate universe.
Okay.
So story is a Harry Potter AU fic.
Oh my
Okay.
God.
Meaning, and the AU is Muggle and modern day.
Okay.
All right.
So we're taking all of the characters and what we know of them from the stories and plopping them into Muggle modern day universe.
So they're not wizards.
they're not wizards.
They're
So
just
they're muggles.
They're
so
muggles.
and just say they all went to school together.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Gotcha.
We'll get there. But the personality traits, the general relationships, the appearances, those are the things that continue to hold true.
Right.
Got it? Mm-hmm. Okay. That has been so many guests get it immediately, and many guests have to ask 3 or 4
Yeah.
times.
Wait, this, that, and like, no, it's pretty straightforward.
When I first heard it, I'd be like, wait, so they're wizards pretending to be muggles? Like, I remember
no.
you were like, no. I'm like, okay. I really expect, well, I guess you don't. I expected you to do Suits.
You wanted like Suits or Ally McBeal or something?
Yeah, I also thought Sopranos would have been.
So the thing about Sopranos is there's a lot of fanfic, but a lot of it is very it's more like a character study than it is anything with plot.
Yeah.
It's like there, and that tends to happen with shows like that. Like Mad Men has a lot of this as well. Is it's like, here's what Peggy was thinking during this
scene,
episode, or this scene, or like from her perspective. So it's a lot, and I think you can do that with shows that are that well written.
Yeah.
So there's a lot more of that versus like the Harry Potter universe. It's like we can fuck around, and do whatever we want.
Yeah.
So there's a lot more of that.
Well, and like for just reference, like usually with guests we have on, we ask them like what fandoms they're a part of, or like if they have any big ones, because we like to know ahead of time.
Yeah.
And we didn't do that with you, but I had supplied her with some.
Yeah.
So
And I looked around and I was honestly like, nah, we're gonna go with this because this is a more fun story to tell.
And he knows, Harry Potter very well.
I know a bunch of Harry about
Yeah,
Harry
you'll know
Potter.
enough.
Yes.
Honorable mention. So there is a lot of overlap that I found between these stories and office romances in general. There was a lot of like boss employee or other kind of related power dynamics. I tried to pick something that didn't have that. And then honorable mention to this really wonderful fic that I found during this search that I'm still reading. I ended up being like, this is way too long for me to be able to synopsize in time. But it's called Pedestal by Flood on the Floor. And it is a House of the Dragon, Alicent Rhaenyra modern AU, where they are lawyers from rival law firms and they have a one-night stand and don't realize until they show up for this like groundbreaking case
trial
that they are on opposing
come on.
Gotcha.
It's so good. It's
Do you watch House of the Dragon?
I don't. I haven't watched anything Game of Thrones related since
Game of Thrones.
ended.
I've been the same.
House of the Dragon, I like. I've watched it, but the fandom specifically because Alicent and Rhaenyra, they are like the kind of two opposing houses,
right?
And so the lesbians are all up in it. We don't get a lot of pairings on the women loving women side.
Yeah.
So when there is one, the fan fiction community is big. So honorable mention, if anybody that sounds fun to anybody, I highly recommend that fic. I'm in the middle of it myself right now.
We can put it on our list too that we have on our
for sure. Okay, so this is called R.V. Riddle by Dev Devlin. Dev Devlin is a fanfic author that I've read before, and she does. I'm going to say she. I always assume she. I might be wrong. She does a lot of pretty dark stuff. She has a one shot that's a favorite of mine that is also a lawyer AU, and she does mainly Hermione.
Okay. Is this a Hermione then?
This is a Hermione. Would you like to explain to your brother what Hermione is?
Fill in the rest of the class?
Do you know what Hermione is?
No, I don't.
Tom Riddle and Hermione pairing. So Tom Riddle usually pre-Voldemort.
He's Tom Riddle, yes.
Yes. Well, I'm just making sure.
But before he's all snaky.
Before he's all snaky, obviously.
Okay.
It's usually, there's a lot of time travel ones where they will meet. We famously did it to Hermione on our Inanimate Objects episodes, which is our most played.
Oh, really?
2025, I think. It was like one of our most popular.
Great.
And that's where she like falls in love with him like through the diary.
The diary.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like she's right. She finds it instead of Ginny, and so she's writing to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, these ones tend to be a little bit darker, and we will get into what their relationship is in this. But those are the characters that you should be kind of holding in your head. Content warning for manipulation and serial murder. Published in August of 2018. It's 7 chapters and about 18,000 words. And the author's note at the beginning is, quote, "I don't know what this is. Hashtag I am not a lawyer."
Hashtag I am not a lawyer.
And every single author's note in every single chapter says something along the lines of, "I'm trying my best. I am not a lawyer." So that's what we're dealing with here. But I think they did a pretty good job. I'm going to read the quote of the first paragraph of the first chapter because I like to get into it that way. And this way you can also understand why I just liked reading this. Chapter 1, 84 days before trial. Cold, calculating, and dangerous. Those are the words that had been used to describe the serial killer publicly known as Lord Voldemort. Cruel, psychopathic, and sadistic. All of these fit the bill. The murders were planned and perfect, if one could even describe a murder as such. Not a single sliver of evidence had been recovered at any of the 6 crime scenes. Not a single hair nor skin cell had been recovered, and yet Hermione could not see it. The man charged with the murders radiated none of these things. No. Tom Riddle was a textbook picture of innocence.
I was truly thinking it was going to be a lawyer. I didn't realize it was going to be a serial killer lawyer. Oh, I'm so glad. This is so fun.
So she's sitting across from him. This is like their first meeting, and she's like the appointed defense for him.
Right.
She's like the public defender or whatever
That's
you
right.
want to think of it like, whatever this world's version of that is.
Yeah.
And she's like, he's just so nervous and twitchy and quiet. Like, I'm not getting guilt from this guy at all. Like, he seems just so like small. Like, he works at an antique shop. I just don't know that he could have done this. And she's, going through kind of, do you understand, sir, that you're being charged with 7 counts of murder? You're being accused of being this serial killer, Lord Voldemort. And she's like, this will all go much more smoothly if you tell me the truth right now. Like, doing the thing that we've seen in pretty much every single lawyery show and movie. And he's insisting over and over and over, like, no, I didn't do it. I have no idea what you're talking about. Like, I really, like, I promise. And she's like, I believe him. But this whole thing is from her POV.
Okay.
80 days before the trial, she runs into her old professor, Moody. Mad-Eye Moody, who's the opposing counsel.
Oh.
He's the prosecution.
Okay.
And he used to be her professor in law school. And he's like, you need to drop this case. And she's like, he deserves a defense as much as anybody else does. Like, you're not going to let me do this. And he's like, no, you don't understand. If you're holed into something this high profile early on in your career, it was either going to break you or it's going to lock you into this kind of case for the rest of your life.
Thoughts, feelings?
Is that a thing?
That is a thing. I mean, you can look back at like OJ, it's like,
Right.
like all those lawyers, it's like, I mean, they were very well known. But, depending on or what side of the case you were on, like whether you were defending OJ or you were prosecuting him, it's, however a high profile like case like that, however it ends up,
It sticks with you.
It sticks with you.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Makes sense.
Yeah. And he's like, you need to drop this. Like, it's not going to be good for you. And she's like, yeah, but you're being an asshole. Like, she just thinks that he's being pretentious and he doesn't want her to take this opportunity because she's very ambitious. And she's like, and she believes that he is innocent and he is deserving of a fair trial.
Oh, you sweet summer child.
I know. We know something she doesn't know.
He's evil.
He's evil. He's a killer.
He's a killer.
But she doesn't know that. 62 days before the trial, she's talking to him about the last murder and the murder that kind of got him accused in the first place. The killing of the Potters, Lily and James.
Oh,
wait,
no.
I knew that. Why was I surprised?
Lily and James were murdered in their home.
Oh my God.
Their son, Harry. Was the only witness and is the one accusing Riddle. He's
okay.
the one that pointed the finger. These murders were decapitations.
Oh my God.
And they felt a lot more personal than the others because of the decapitation.
Okay.
And so she's like running through it. She's like, what, alibi? He was like, I was alone in my apartment on October 31st. And she's like, is there anybody that can back you up? And he's like, no. She shows him the crime scene photos and she's like watching him for any sign of recognition or anything. And he like retches. He's like, I can't look at these. And she's like even more assured that like, oh, a serial killer, like a psychopath couldn't act like this. Like he's so horrified. He's like going pale. He's going sweaty. Like, oh my, like, she's even more assured of his innocence. But the issue is he doesn't have an alibi for that night or any of the nights of the other killers. He's like, the other killings. He's like, oh, I work at an antique shop. I live a very quiet life. I was probably alone in my apartment. I don't know. 55 days before trial, she's going to the jail to visit him. And they're like, oh, he's not here. And she's like, what do you mean he's not here? And they're like, oh, he was released on bail. Lucius Malfoy paid his bail. And And she flies into a rage and she goes to his apartment and she's like banging on the door and she's like, Tom, let me in. And he lets her in. She's like, you let Lucius Malfoy, a man with a horrible reputation, pay your bail. She's like, your image is everything in this trial. And the fact that you've aligned yourself with this man is insane. And she hears like a and Lucius Malfoy is standing in the kitchen.
Ooh.
Lucy.
And she's still yelling. She's like, I don't even care that you're there. And Tom is very like calm. And he's like, it's okay. It's going to be fine. Like you're going to do your best. Like I understand, but I needed to get out of there. I had work to attend to. And she's like, you work in an antique store. What do you mean? And she doesn't see Lucius roll his eyes behind her.
Because clearly it's a cover.
I don't know, Emily. Maybe it's
Clearly
she
it's a
doesn't see
cover.
it. She doesn't see it.
Come on, Hermione, brightest lawyer of her age.
But she wants to win, Emily. She wants to win.
I don't like it when
For
she's
smart
a
as
fool.
she is, she sounds very naive.
I
She's
know.
very naive. 10 days before trial, they're going over and over, cross like what they're gonna say, how he's gonna do things. She's stressed. She's being a lot. He's continually just weirdly calm. He's just very like, okay, yeah,
That's like upsetting.
it's gonna be fine, and she's infuriated by that. And he's like, come on, like we need to get out of here. Let's have a drink. You need to clear your head. So they go have a drink, and it's very flirty. And he like smiles at her, and she smiles back. And from that day on, he calls her Hermione instead of Miss Granger.
Wow.
Oh.
Very, very informal.
Very informal. Not great.
Do people call you Mr. Our last name or
No, I just have him call me by my first name.
Bobby B?
Yeah, call me
B.
Bobby.
Call me Bobby.
Young Bobby.
Young Bobby.
Young Bobby.
I'd like to be known as Young Bobby around the office, please.
So they have a drink. We're getting a little, we're graying the lines a little bit, I will
Okay.
say. Chapter 2, author's note, just so we're clear, once again, I am not a lawyer. The trial has begun. We are on day 3. Hermione is cross-examining Dr. Lupin. He has overseen all 6 crime scene analyses related to the Lord Voldemort killings.
Okay.
The similarities between the crime scenes. All bodies were placed bowing on their knees, stripped naked, and killed by blood loss. All were killed in their own homes, except for the 5th victim. All of the scenes were cleaned meticulously with bleach. There was no physical evidence found at any of the scenes because of the bleach. There were no break-ins or forced entry, and no missing items from any of the scenes.
Okay.
The first victim was killed with a clean laceration to the neck, presumably with a single stroke of a knife by someone who knows how to do that and to kill somebody by blood loss. Hermione is basically like to Dr. Lupin, based on these crime scenes, you've concluded that these are similar enough that we believe there's a serial killer, and he verifies that. And then he says, at the time of the first killing, Mr. Riddle was a 21-year-old anthropology student at Hogwarts University. Do you believe that a 21-year-old anthropology student would have been able to cause this laceration in order to kill this first victim? And Dr. Lupin says, no. No, I do not believe that. Rob,
Do you have any thoughts?
I see thoughts.
Yeah, what's going on?
Well, first of all, he's like, is he the forensic scientist?
Yeah, he's like that was like the head of whatever we're calling that department that would have visited
The
and analyzed
cops science.
all of the
Cops
crime
science.
scenes.
The science
the
cops.
forensic. I think I wrote it down. He had a title and I didn't write it down.
CSI, isn't that? It's crime scene investigators.
The
But
forensic.
him being asked, him being
You wouldn't ask him. You wouldn't ask him a question like that in regards to the
no, because
the
like
knife
that's not what his expertise would be, and so
Right.
like you clearly can't give that kind of testimony anyway.
It
when
would
you're
be like
considering that.
It would be like the person. It would be a different person if anything.
Yeah, exactly. And
Yeah.
it's like if you have maybe say like a psychologist,
Yeah.
that's a more appropriate question for somebody like a psychologist.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Ugh, I'm glad you're our lawyer.
I know.
Somebody has to clear these things up.
Somebody has to help our copyright go.
right.
Cut that.
But you start to get an idea of what she's trying to do. She's trying to cast obviously reasonable doubt and trying to be
Yes.
like, this couldn't have possibly happen, because these killings are over the course of like 15 years.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, so it's a long stretch of time has happened between each of them, but they are so similar and so specific that they've been able to conclude that it's the same person because of the bowing and the blood loss and all of that. So they're leaving court, her and Riddle and his massive security detail. And he's like, you were very impressive today. And she's like, oh, thank you. And he's like, she says, no. He says she should come by tomorrow to go over more of what they're going to do next week. And she says, oh, look at you. You're cooperating all of a sudden. And she's like, ooh, I'm being too playful with this. I'm getting too comfortable with this man. And he looks at her with an odd gleam in his eye that she can't quite place. And he says, maybe the trial's not all that I want to discuss.
Ooh, sexies.
Sexies. And she like kind of plays dumb and is like, haha, that's funny. That's a funny thing you said. And they
That's funny. That's
so
really
funny.
funny.
That's so funny. Yeah.
and
She doesn't have a low voice. That's very funny.
and they're like approaching the front of the courthouse, and there's like a swarm of reporters, and she's like, oh, I feel so bad for him because they're never going to leave him alone after this, like even though he's innocent, like this is just going to follow him for the rest of his life.
No, don't we
and
know it.
She agrees to meet him tomorrow, and he like kind of smiles at her before they're swarmed
Oh.
by day 4 of the trial. Moody is
Wait, I have a question.
Yes.
You are a Hermione lover.
Yeah.
I am someone. The story will help me either way. Like if I want them to end up together or whatever.
Okay.
At this point, when you're reading it, were you like into him?
No.
No, you were like I don't trust this.
You know how awful he is.
I know how awful he is.
Yeah, but
But
Well, and the way that this story is written, and that's kind of why I'm telling it the way I am, is to try to convey that the author wants you to be very suspicious of this man.
Gotcha. Okay.
From jump. It's like the whole story is written like you can hear the Jaws theme song in the background, but you can't see the shark.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you're like, I know that this is bad. I just don't know yet exactly how.
Yeah.
And so the entire time I'm like, fuck this guy. And
Okay.
also she's kind of an idiot.
Yes.
But I also understand because they're like, she's so ambitious. She wants to win this case because she knows it's huge for her career. She's also thinks that he's very attractive and he's very good at being a manipulative bastard. You can see as the reader all of the little pieces falling
Gotcha.
into
Okay.
place. Is how
I just
I'll
wanted
say
to
that.
know your perspective so far.
Yeah, I'm on the board that you guys probably are on at this point.
You're like, what the fuck's going on here?
Okay.
Exactly. So day 4 of trial, Moody is cross-examining Albus Dumbledore, the criminal psych with New Scotland Yard that has been handling this case. They've been putting together this profile for the last basically 2 decades, and he asks about the profile of this serial killer. And the conclusions are deep desire to be known and feared, high levels of narcissism, desire to degrade or even punish. The victims didn't have clothes on and were kneeling. Clean kills, consistent, confident, and with expertise with a knife. Doesn't expect to be caught. High level of intelligence and an ability to hide over decades indicates someone that is very good at hiding their true nature from others in their lives.
Okay.
His assessment of Tom Riddle was that he was of sane mind and fit for trial, and that he was highly intelligent. And Moody asks if someone of that intelligence could potentially commit these crimes. And Hermione tries to object and is overruled, and Dumbledore says yes.
Is someone who's smart could do this?
Someone as smart could do this?
Is someone smart could do this? Maybe.
Yes. Moody asks Dumbledore if he thinks that Riddle did it. Hermione's objection is sustained in regards to that question. Hermione starts her own cross-examination, which I'm just going to read. I tried to find a way to summarize it, and I couldn't. To reiterate what Mr. Moody has established, based on the profiling of the murder scenes, you concluded that the culprit was likely to be a highly intelligent psychopath, correct? Yes. In your assessment with Mr. Riddle, you concluded him to be of sane mind. That is to say, your evaluation did not suggest psychopathic tendencies. No, it did not suggest psychopathic tendencies. Correct. No further questions. And that's the end of our questioning of Mr. Dumbledore.
Okay.
That was a very decent cross.
Right?
Yeah.
Considering the author is not a lawyer, I was like,
She's doing good.
You maybe
At that
studied
point,
some
all you're
stuff.
doing is you're just trying to impeach the witness, and she did that very well.
Is someone smart could do this? All right, cool.
Yeah, I mean, you caught on to
Yeah.
to exactly what the argument should be. So that evening, her and Tom are having dinner. Why?
Is it like over notes? Like,
Kind of.
All right.
Kind of.
I could see it.
Yeah, you
I
can
don't.
see it.
I don't agree with it, but I can.
But we can see it. And she's like, so how do you know the Malfoys? And he's like, well, we went to school together. We've been friends for almost 30 years. Like Lucius and I went to Hogwarts University together. And she says, that's it? He's like a known drug dealer. Like
He's like a known.
he's a known like
Everybody
crime
knows.
boss. Yeah. And it seems like Tom is trying not to smile when he says he's never been charged with anything. And he's like, you know, I was hoping that giving you wine and dinner would get you off my back. And she says, well, it's my job to be on your back. And he says, I'd much rather have you on yours. She goes, are you flirting with me? Girl. Yeah.
She needs
Obviously.
to get out more.
I know.
She needs
That's
to
like
get out more.
that's from The Room. Like Greg Sestero being like, "What's going on?" Like, hello, could it be any more obvious?
Yeah.
What is it? He says, I was trying to flirt with you. Do you want me to stop? And he says that he should stop. And he says, I didn't ask if you should stop. I asked if you wanted us to stop. And he like touches her hand. He's lawyering her, and he says he likes her, but because she's not like anyone he's met before.
Ugh.
Ugh.
And I know. And then he drops her hand, and they go back to working. So I guess it was a quote unquote working dinner.
All right.
And it's all fine.
Drops the hand where?
Drops the hand
On the table.
Oh,
on her back. It's all fine. He drops her hand. She
and-
flips over. So they have like a working dinner, but then they're saying goodbye, and he kisses her
On the mouth?
on the mouth, and somehow she ends up kissing him back, and then he's carrying her to his bedroom, and unfortunately she does not notice the lack of personal items in that bedroom and how sparse the apartment in general is, as if someone maybe doesn't live there full time.
Oh, that's creepy.
Instead, she is focusing on his arm muscles.
Listen. Listen. Okay. Hold on. I take everything back.
You see where we're coming from?
yeah.
But as someone who every time I move, like people can't see this, like they only see like two things, but like I have things on every wall.
Right.
Like, when I move into a place, I hate having like blank walls.
Yeah.
So I feel like I've actually said that I've been on dates with someone where I've gone to their house and I'm like, what are you, a serial killer? Like, where's
Yeah,
all
you've
your
noticed.
art?
Yeah.
Yeah. I will notice that.
She does not
immediately.
notice it.
She's dumb.
She is. She does notice the large skull tattoo on his left forearm, but doesn't have a chance to ask about it because then her legs are over his shoulders and other things are happening. She's happy because she has several orgasms, is very distracted and happy. And the next morning she's like racing around to get ready to go. And she's like, we can't do this again. And he goes, I won't tell if you won't. And she's like, we really can't. And then he kisses her again. And he goes, I don't really mind living with a guilty conscience. And she doesn't register that at all.
Hello?
That's a
Yeah.
red flag. It's another red flag.
Did you like that?
Yeah.
That's her red flag. What
What's that face?
Look.
Day 10 of the trial.
Okay.
Prosecution calls Dr. Severus Snape. Tom is nervous. Tom is nervous about this one, but is confident in their decades-long friendship.
Now, who's Snape in this trial?
I will explain.
Okay.
Snape is a professor at Tom's old university,
Hogwarts University.
Hogwarts University. They have been friends for 20 years. They met via Lucius Malfoy's wife because they were classmates. For a time, Snape testifies that he believed Tom to be his closest friend, but their relationship was always tumultuous. And Moody asks him, like, have you heard of anything in regards to like violence committed by Mr. Riddle? And he says acquaintances have commented on being afraid of Tom, but Snape never witnessed violence happening personally in front of him. When did your friendship come to an end? The day after the Potters' bodies were found.
Oh.
Why did your friendship? Why did that happen? Because Snape believed Tom to be responsible. And Moody says, "Why do you believe that?" He told me.
Oh.
That is not the answer that Hermione expected. She is
boy.
trying to take deep breaths and trying to look very cool and calm and collected. And she feels Tom's knee jiggling under the table, and she puts her hand on his knee and is like, Stop doing that. Trying to keep her cool. Moody says, he told you that he ended their lives, and Snape hesitates, and he says, no, he apologized.
Oh, brother.
He let himself into Snape's house, and Snape had been crying all day in bed over the death of specifically Lily Potter. And he said, and Snape says, he said that he did what had to be done, that he knew how much she meant to me, and that he hadn't meant to hurt her, but she was there and saw. And Snape is breaking down crying on the stand.
Oh,
and he's
damn.
like, I went along with it because I could tell that Tom was getting annoyed with me for being crying and being weird. And I was afraid that he was going to get angry at me. And he said that it was for the best and that I wouldn't be distracted anymore and I can focus on our work. And that is the end of his testimony. And then
That's not the end of the book.
no.
Right, I was panicking.
So that's the testimony he gives of that conversation that day. Hermione gets up to cross-examine.
I'm curious to know where she's going to go with this.
She says, how did you feel when you learned of their death? Angry? And Snape says, absolutely, I felt angry. And she says, was your friend, Mr. Riddle, aware of your friendship with the Potters? Yes. And he meant to check up on you and give you his sympathy and his well wishes. Maybe in your heavy state of grief and anger, you mistook the tone of what Mr. Riddle may or may not have said. And he's like, well, no, I don't know if that would have happened. And she was like, but you're not sure. He could have been saying, I'm really sorry for what happened and your loss and your sympathy, et cetera, et cetera. She thinks she was able to cast enough doubt. Maybe. She thinks that maybe that argument worked, but she's not sure.
No,
But
I
she
think
does her
that's still
best.
pretty bad for her.
It's pretty bad for her.
yeah.
Once she's alone with Tom, she flies into a rage and says, you didn't think to tell me you had a conversation with him the day after the Potters were killed? And he said, I didn't think it was important. And she says, that man was obviously in love with Lily Potter. That was not a man who had moved on. And Tom is like, I may have misread.
You think?
He may have
He's fucking-
misread.
I may have misread their feelings. And she's like, you left me totally unprepared. You need to tell me if there is anything else. And he's like, no, there's nothing else. And he takes her head in his hands and is like, you handled it so well, though. You did such a good job.
Don't touch me.
And you're just an absolutely incredible lawyer. And his words almost make her forget that she was mad because she's weak.
This is how I feel.
And he kisses her and she forgets what she was going to say.
Okay.
There you go. The couple days later, she's nervous. It's the big witness. It's the teenage son, Harry. Moody goes first. Harry testifies to what happened. He arrived home. All the lights were on, but it was quiet. He found the bodies of his parents in the living room, and everything smelled like bleach. And as he went to call someone, there was a man in the hallway, dressed in all black with blue gloves. And the man just looked at him, almost curious. He just kind of stayed there and just stared at him. And Harry started to yell. And then as he kind of moved toward the man moved towards him really, really quickly. And there was a loud bang. And Harry woke up in a coma a couple of days later.
Whoa.
Recovering from a gunshot wound to the head.
Oh, my Lanta.
Moody says, was his face covered? And Harry says, no, I saw him clearly. Evidence log 16, a picture of Tom Riddle. Is that the man you saw? Yes.
Oh.
And there was no uncertainty in his tone. And quote, and in that instant, for the first time throughout the whole case, Hermione felt her first true glimmer of doubt in her defendant.
Ay vey.
Chapter 5.
So that was the one thing.
That was the thing.
Finally made you wake up, and maybe your client isn't as honest as he says.
Him.
Maybe a little.
He said it was him, and I didn't read this earlier. But hearing it is a different story.
Yeah. They have recess. They're about to go back in. She once again turns to Tom. You need to tell me. Did you do it? Is there anything I should know before I go in there and tear this child apart who saw both of his parents' dead bodies?
This makes me sad.
Yeah. No, it's really sad.
There's nothing you can do. Like as a lawyer, you got to do what you have to do.
I know.
you
It makes sense.
Yep.
And you're not going to come out looking good either way.
I've been watching The Lincoln Lawyer on Netflix.
I haven't heard that.
It's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, it's because there was a movie with Matthew McConaughey.
Oh,
and
yes,
it was
yes,
turned
yes.
into a TV show.
I didn't know that.
Okay,
Yeah,
I didn't
it's
know
actually
that.
pretty fun.
Okay. Is
it a
Matthew McConaughey in the
No, it's a guy.
Cool with the guy?
Does
I
he do
don't
a Matthew
know.
McConaughey impression?
No, he's
Damn
like
it.
he's
Dang
like
it.
I would-
he's like half Mexican, like, and that's his backstory, and he has an accent, and the girl in it was on Ugly Betty. She was like the mean receptionist.
Oh.
Yeah, she's like his like partner or like code worker. She's great.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry,
No,
back to
no,
this.
you're fine. She urges him, please tell me if you did it. He says he's like acting frustrated at this point. He's like, Jesus Christ, I've told you a million times. Da 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 da. And she's like, I can't live with myself if doing this to this boy if you are guilty. I really needed to ask you one last time. And he's like, you're doing your job. And she says, that doesn't make it any easier. And he looks annoyed and like he's about to say something else, but then Moody interrupts and they have to go back in.
Okay. Good.
Hermione, feeling nauseous, establishes, this is I think very weak, a very weak defense, but she's doing what she needs to do. Establishes that Harry is a student. He wants to be a cop one day. Aww. He studies at Hogwarts University and gets there by train, the same train that Mr. Riddle takes to work every day. Hermione says, is it possible that when you were being talked to by the police, having just awoken from a coma with a gunshot wound to the head, that you were not accurately recalling the details of the face that you think you saw? Is it possible that you misremembered someone that you had run into on the train earlier that day? And that's her argument. And
yeah, it's a weak argument.
It's a weak argument, but Harry is getting more and more upset and more, just devastated, because he's like, no, I know what I saw. Like, and she's like, are you sure? Is it possible? And he's just getting sadder and sadder.
Hello, asked and answered. Move on.
Yep. Yeah. And she's like, I'm really sorry for your loss. And that doesn't help.
No shit, Sherlock.
And she's like,
and that doesn't help.
Right. She says like, in your statement to the police, you did say that there were bits and pieces of that evening that you couldn't remember anymore, likely due to the head trauma. Is it possible that this could have extended to that? And he's like, maybe, I guess. Right. And he's just got this determined look on his face. And he's like, I know who I saw staring at Tom. And she's like, I did my best. A couple days later, Tom is on the stand, and her stomach is in knots at this point. She's basically in a constant state of nausea. She can't seem to shake it. She doesn't know why. They're going through the relationship with Snape and Tom's testimony about what happened that day. And he's like, I heard about the deaths of James and Lily, and I took my break early from the antique store to go check on my friend because I just knew that he would be devastated, and he's had a history of self-harm in the past, and I really wanted to check on him. And I told him that I was so sorry for his loss, and I was really trying to reassure him because he had just been pining after her for years, even though she was married. And I never confessed to killing Lily or James. I only wanted to help him, and if I had known that he would misinterpret me like that, I wouldn't have even gone over there. She goes through a list of every single victim and says, did you know them? Were you exposed to them in any way? He's like, no, I didn't know. He didn't know 4 of them. 3 of them were like people that he had known from school, like Lily and James. She shows him the murder weapon. Have you ever owned a knife or one similar to this one? You aren't a hunter. He like laughs and says, certainly not. Mm-hmm. Moody starts in. For the last 10 years, you've been employed at the antique store, Bergen & Burke's. You graduated top of your class and with honors, and you work at an antique store. And
first of all, rude.
I know.
Rude question.
And Tom's like, I have a passion for antiques, and money has never been a priority to me. And Moody says, not with friends like the Malfoys, I suppose. John and Tom very gently says, I grew up in an orphanage and I'm used to getting by with very little. And Hermione sees a few jurors like nod in sympathy, and she's like, yes, great.
Well, I don't like this. I do not like this.
Moody starts to run through all the dates of the murder victims, like the dates of the murders, asking for alibis. Mm-hmm. And every single answer is, I don't know. I couldn't tell you. It's been 10 years. Would you remember off the top of your head where you were January 10 years ago? But December 12th sticks in Hermione's brain, and she starts like frantically looking for a document in her files. And Moody is trying to like tie various things like the bleach at the scene to the workplace, but she doesn't care. She's just looking through her notes. And she gets up to re-examine. And she's found it. She says, Tom, you were in regular attendance at Professor Slughorn's parties at Hogwarts, were you not?
Oh,
Slughorn had testified a little bit earlier, but I cut it out.
Okay.
Every year for the last 16 years, he said. And Tom was like, yes, that's right. And she's like, do you remember when those parties tend to be? And he's like, always on a Friday, 2 weeks out from Christmas. It's always the last day of term, before the winter break. And Hermione is so excited. And she's like, interesting. Dr. Charity Burbage was found on the 12th of December, 2009. And the time of death was between 11 and 1 a.m. on Saturday. But we've heard that you would have been at the university party. And Professor Slughorn seemed very fond of you and testified that you had been to every single one for the last 15 years. And she sees Tom's eyes like kind of light up, and he like looks proud of her.
Oh, Jesus.
And he's like, yes, I was there. And she's like, well, those were in London, and Dr. Burbage was in Nottingham. It would have taken 3 to 4 hours to get there and back. Like, I just don't see a world where that, would have happened to you. No, I certainly don't. Tom is looking at her like he is in love with her, and she doesn't mind it. Her ego It's like the Grinch's heart. It's her ego has expanded.
I don't like this. I don't like
times.
this. I also think that maybe he's actually a wizard and he's a wizard.
actually-
and
He's
everyone
actually the
else-
only actual wizard.
He's the
there.
only actual
Yes.
wizard. Yeah.
She is very pleased with herself because she's basically been able to at least potentially, circumstantially cast some doubt.
As a juror, you've just been handed some doubt with that
Yep.
testimony.
Yeah, totally. Leaving the courtroom, she's like, I did it. I got through the hardest part. I got through the Harry testimony and I got through the Tom testimony and I was able to cast some doubt. She's so excited. She feels somebody grab her arm and it's Harry. And he says, why are you doing this? And she's like, Mr. Potter, we cannot talk. Like this could really jeopardize the case. He's like, I don't understand. I know what I saw. Why are you doing this?
No, I don't like this.
And she's and then he looks over her shoulder and he starts screaming and Tom has come up behind her. And he's like, get away from me. And she's positioned herself now between Harry and Tom. And she's like, everyone needs to move apart. Mm-hmm. And she drags Tom away, refusing to look back. And then, quote, she had trouble sleeping the night after that. She couldn't help but wonder, what was it that Tom would have said if she hadn't intervened? Closing and summation, she does her closing arguments. And at the end of it, there was like a whole chapter dedicated to this, but it's basically summarizing everything I just told you guys.
Okay.
By the looks of the jurors, she would have bet her life she had at least 3 of them, she thinks. And later that night, her and Tom are fucking. And he's like, if I'm acquitted, I'm taking you to Paris. And she's like, you will do no such thing. This is not continuing on after this.
Good.
Hell no.
Can you imagine the media fallout? Can you imagine the potential call for a retrial? Can you imagine any of he's like, I'm serious. And she's like, this is my job. We cannot do this. We cannot be together. And he goes really quiet and he's got his thinking face on. And he's like, it's fine. We'll talk about it later. As he continues to like go down on her.
No.
And she tries to talk about it more, but his tongue is like in places and she can't seem to stay focused, poor girl.
No.
After a few days of deliberation, he is acquitted, not guilty on all 7 charges.
On all 7.
All 7.
See, I would have thought maybe they had him on 1, but especially on when they were talking about his alibi with the party and everything, I would have thought for sure that he would have gotten off with that, but not on all 7.
All 7. Yeah.
7 Horcruxes.
I think I already kind of figured that.
Yeah.
I just love when they do that.
When they do
Isn't
little
that fun.
That's the fun of
bed. 7.
7. That's the fun of
bed.
the AU.
That is
You
fun.
know?
I do like that kind of shit.
So yeah, acquitted on all 7. She feels like her whole body unclench after like the 3rd or 4th one is like not guilty, and she's like, because the first one they had to get through was the murder of the Potters, which was the one that they had the most evidence for.
Right.
She looks to Tom, expecting to see happiness. She only sees him staring at her with something like pride? ? Odd.
What do you think that?
what would the look actually be?
Yeah, something like that. A month after this trial.
Okay.
She's still secretly seeing Tom because she's an idiot.
No.
Because she's been hypnotized by Dick.
Dickmatized.
Dickmatized. She tells herself almost every time she went to see him that it would be the last time. But he seemed to be an expert at getting out of conversations. And then they would fuck and she would forget why she wanted to talk to him in the first place. He seems really clingy to her. He's always texting and calling when they aren't physically together, as if he's not letting her clear her mind of him. It was almost making her worry. She had thought multiple times, everybody has flaws, and I'll be 30 soon, and he's just passionate. I kept that specifically in because I knew you would have a big reaction to I'm almost 30.
And he's like in his 40s.
Yeah, he's like late 40s. There's like
first of all,
there's like a 15.
We know I don't like an age gap. Go on.
We're nearly to the end.
Yeah, we're almost there. We can make it. We can make it.
Poor Harry.
I know. It's Friday evening. He's like, I have a special dinner planned. Wear the red dress. And she's like, okay. If she wasn't in such a hurry to leave her apartment, she may have seen the breaking news come over her TV screen as she turns it off. But unfortunately,
No.
She goes over to Tom's.
I'm like so scared.
They're sitting across from each other, having finished eating, when Tom says, I need to tell you something. I hate lying to you, darling.
No.
I'm gonna just read it. It was me. The soft words fell from his lips like sweet nothings. I did it. He tipped his head back and made a sound deep in his throat, one very close to a groan that broke the quiet tension of the air. God, you have no idea how good that feels to get it out there, he says. She says, what? Slightly laughing. He looks back, smiling very kindly at her. I killed them. His hand shoots out to grip hers across the table. All 8 of them, in a calm tone, staring into her eyes. Oh, no. He says, there is only meant to be 7. Lily wasn't meant to be there and see what was going on. And then the boy wasn't meant to live to talk. He says, I don't usually like to use firearms. They're very sloppy. And, that was my mistake. But that has been taken care of now.
He killed Harry?
Yeah.
Oh.
That was the breaking
I
news.
knew
That
it.
was the breaking
I
news.
knew
banner.
it.
That was
I
the
knew
breaking
it.
news.
I knew it.
She says, you lied to me. And he says, and I'm really sorry about that. He's like, I'm very good at what I do, Hermione. And he's like, I wanted us to be able to move forward together, and I couldn't see how we could do that without total honesty.
I mean, I do appreciate that.
She's shaking. He says, I scared you? And she says, she goes to go, well, no. And he goes, don't lie to me. I can tell when you're lying. She's like, I need a glass of water. And she gets up to go to the kitchen, and she feels him staring at her. And she is finally able to admit to herself that she had suspected it all along. And she needs to admit that to herself now, because obviously there's no ability to delude herself at any point. But she's like, I wanted to win, and I wanted to feel special, and I wanted this all to work, and I was blind. And she's having a panic attack at the sink when he very calmly says, there's been something that I've been wanting to ask you. You see, Lucius needs some help with his upcoming tax evasion case. And I just know with someone that's as skilled as you are that you would be able to help us win it.
Now she's in.
And she says, why do you want me to go to all this trouble to help your friend? And he laughs and he's like, do you think that Lucius really is smart enough to run his empire the way that it runs? Who do you think built it in the first place? And she's like, you're working with Malfoy? And he laughs again and he goes, no, Malfoy works for me. I don't have a passion for antiques, Hermione.
Fucking idiot.
He stands up and walks to her and says, I need a lawyer who knows the company and who I know can win.
I wouldn't want to hire this woman because clearly I don't have a passion for antiques. Like, don't you think she's kind of dumb? I don't know.
But she won the case,
She's
man.
I
good
know.
at what she does.
And she knows everything about him now, so he doesn't have to lie to her about any of it.
She's just a complete idiot when it comes to relationships and stuff like that.
'Cause
She's a fantastic lawyer, sounds
She's
like.
been doing nothing but study her whole life.
Yeah. Yep.
She struggles to answer because she sees now that he is a serial killer and basically a mob boss, probably something like that.
Yeah, running a criminal enterprise.
And one of the last things she thinks is Moody was right. And Tom holds his hand out to her and says, so are you with me? And knowing she doesn't really have a choice, she places her hand in his and he smiles and says, Hermione, I knew you'd understand. And that's the end of the fic.
You don't really tell stories like that. We don't get a lot of stories like this.
No.
Where I'm full of dread.
Yes, that's what I wanted to.
This was
convey.
That was good. This was an interesting episode we've done. We kind of both went out of not our comfort zones.
I wanted
but like,
to do a little.
we did something different. I
You did
like that.
something a little different,
Yeah.
both of you.
Yeah,
That was good. That was really good.
Thanks.
Oh boy.
Any closing thoughts on that one?
Closing arguments.
Well, I mean, no, it's funny that with this book and the author's like, just keep in mind, I'm not really a lawyer. But
Yeah.
it's like, I've heard of worse stories that have like, don't get the lawyering aspect of it right.
Yeah.
And I mean, and I'll just say this. I mean, especially with litigation, it's like, it's not what you see on TV or movies.
Yeah.
There's a lot of time that goes by and it's just a lot of procedure. So it's like, I know you would think that, you get a case, you go straight to trial. It's like, no, that's not
Yeah.
what happens.
Yeah.
Weeks and weeks and weeks of
Yeah.
paper.
But I think-
Years sometimes, right?
Oh yeah, sometimes years, and depending on how big it is. But I liked this, hearing it in the alternate universe, Harry Potter characters in the context of like a criminal case like that. I thought it was very entertaining.
Now you're gonna read. Now you're gonna read Harry Potter fan fiction, aren't you?
Now I'm gonna be reading a whole bunch of fan
I
fiction.
knew
Yeah.
it. I knew it.
I'll find another one and send it to you.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah, you should.
I just love, especially making you upset. And I didn't know that there were various parts of this that would make you upset.
And it's always a Hermione one that makes me upset.
Yeah.
Because I'm always like, no. Oh,
Well, because
man.
that's also why I like reading Hermione, because I love a darker kind of twisty thing. And it is kind of, that's the beauty of fan fiction, is the author doesn't have to do anything. I, going in, know that Tom is a bad guy.
Yeah.
And so the entire time I'm reading it, I can just add that perspective to Hermione's naivete.
Yes.
Yeah.
And all the author needs to do is add in the little sprinkles to reassure me that I am on the right track, which is fun. So it is like most of the Hermione stories, it's like the POV character being like, but he seems nice, and you as the reader are like he's
you
not.
No.
He's not.
You damn dumb.
And all the author has to be is like, his eyes shine brightly in my direction. I'm like, fuck him.
Oh, he's plotting.
He's plotting.
He's plotting.
And my game is because we got a lot of occupations in this fic. So my game is fuck, marry, kill a lawyer, a guy who works in an antique shop, or a criminal psychology student.
Oh, marry antiquer, obviously. Marry the antique shop guy for me. Wait, it was a lawyer or a criminal. What was the last one?
A psych
Criminal
student.
psych student.
A student.
Oh, kill.
Like a college
I'm surprised
student.
you weren't going to be like, kill. No, you're obviously killing the lawyer.
I think you're kind of required to, actually.
Yeah,
They're very
guess.
very unlikable people, generally speaking.
Yeah.
There's always exceptions to the rule, of course.
Are you saying you?
Me.
Okay.
Right.
All right.
He's a delight.
All right. Chill out.
Yeah.
Yikes, Miggy. Fine. I'm gonna say kill the lawyer.
Kill the
course you
lawyer.
are.
Fuck the student.
Fuck the student.
Which sounds. I don't like saying that at all.
An adult.
the student is
and
of age,
And
yeah.
an of age student.
And marry the antiquer, because you know what? I love antiques.
Yeah.
I love your little trinkets.
I love trinkets. Trinkets. Oh, my trinkets.
I would do basically. I would marry the antique shopper. I would probably fuck the lawyer and kill the student.
Okay.
Wait a minute. After you both just told me I couldn't do that, basically, and you're
Well,
like,
it's
no.
weird because your brother's a lawyer.
Okay, but obviously I'm not thinking that he's
I don't
the guy.
know. I don't know any lawyers, so I can say that.
There you go.
Rob, what are you gonna say?
Let's see. Antique shop. I don't give a fuck about antiques. I'm killing the shop owner.
In fact, they would clutter your house.
Yeah.
It would be too much.
And you know what? I watch plenty of hoarders, and that gives me so much anxiety.
Yeah.
I do love hoarders.
So kill the antique shop.
Kill the antique shopper. Fuck the lawyer, marry the student.
Yeah.
Huh.
I don't
We
wanna-
all had a different thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah,
that.
Great. Okay. Well, that's my.
I can only tolerate other lawyers for so
Yeah, that's
long.
fair. That's
You know,
fair.
I don't want to be married to one.
That was
That's
a
fair.
little bit me. I'm like, oh, we could have a nice evening, but then I want to say goodbye to you
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
because you're a lawyer.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right. So you've heard two very similar stories.
Oh, so similar.
And we usually ask our guests to rate our stories out of 5 raccoons and trash cans. So just on the thought of lawyer, rate our stories.
How
Go.
lawyery were they?
Yeah.
in your
Oh
opinion?
gosh. I mean,
I mean, I know the answer to this one.
no, your story, I mean, it was very tame, very vanilla, and there wasn't too much lawyering aspect to it.
I feel like I should have put more in my notes. I just did my notes normal where I'm like, fuck this. And then I was like, oh, yeah, I forgot
You're probably
that.
skipping over like the lawyering stuff, which is probably the boring stuff for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. So just because of that, I'm going to give it 2 out of 5.
2?
Yeah, 2.
All right.
I'm missing.
Come
I'll
on,
take
that's
it.
fair.
This is going to be a fight
No.
later tonight.
No. It's
No,
fine.
And then Jess, your story, it was very, very entertaining.
Thank
I
you.
loved the lawyering aspect of it. I'm going to give it 4 out of 5.
Thank you.
think
Because
that's-
there's always room for improvement.
There's always, yeah. Nothing's ever perfect.
No, certainly
Oh,
not.
that was funny. Oh, that was a really good story.
Thanks.
Good job on
I'm
that.
pretty proud of it.
Yeah. I don't know. How do we end this? We usually ask them to plug. You have nothing.
You have nothing to plug.
You're not-
I got nothing to plug, so you know what? I'll just pretend I have a gavel. Okay, we're adjourned.
Boom.
Boom. And we're just 2 raccoons.
Talking about
The best
trash in town. Bye.
Femmes Reading Filth is hosted, produced, and edited by Jessica Mole, Emily Barujan, Andrea Yuthmand, and Ben Oxshire. Intro music is by Tom Lair. Outro music by David Reddick. You can find and support us on Patreon and follow us on Instagram, Tumblr, Facebook, and TikTok at Femmes Reading Filth. Thank you for listening. Bye!